Welcome to now lesson number 33 in me reading and studying the text and commenting on the text as I go. So we have come to lesson number 33. There is another way of looking at the world. And in previous lessons we have been pointed towards this, that there is another way of seeing things, there is another way of seeing everything. The inner world, the outer world, and the word perception has been introduced more and more. And I'm very curious myself to know, what is perception in this context? What does perception mean? I know what perception is. I think I know right now. And so far in my life, perception is how I perceive things. And what is to perceive? Is it just to take in, or is it to translate? Does it go to some kind of filter of what I know, where I think I know? Has that filter got some kind of color, depending on how I feel and who I am? I don't know. But it has to do with what I do, I think. It must have to do what I see, what I choose to see, and what I do with what I see, I guess. So let's dig into the text. There is another way of looking at the world. I will just read some parts. It's a short lesson. Today's idea is an attempt. That's good, an attempt to recognize that you can shift your perception of the world in both its outer and inner aspects. So I can shift. Luckily, a full 5 minutes should be devoted to the morning and evening applications. In these practice periods, the idea should be repeated as often as you find comfortable. Though unhurried, applications are essential. So, as always, never hurry into this, in or out of this lesson. Just do it in a way that feels comfortable. And why shouldn't it? The whole text, the whole book is about creating a peaceful and comfortable world. It will be more comfortable for everyone. So, of course, the lessons are to be done and read and practiced in a comfortable way and joyful. And we are encouraged to alter between surveying, and that is discovering, serving, looking around, see what kind of information we get. Serving your outer and inner perceptions. I thought the text should say your outer and inner world, but it doesn't. It says, survey your outer and inner perceptions. Nice, interesting. But without an abrupt sense of shifting. Okay, so we are encouraged to go smoothly, discovering the outer and inner perception. This makes me curious, so we go to paragraph number 2. So now this comes this wonderful casually it says, merely glance casually around the world you perceive as outside yourself, and then close your eyes and survey your inner thoughts with equal casualness. Can I do that? Maybe. We will see what's going on inside. And I want to put just a spontaneous reflection comes here. All my reflections are spontaneous, but this was extraordinary spontaneous, I feel, that I only think what is going on in the world. And in previous lessons I've been mentioning that there is a lot of going around in the world, as I've always been. We could, it's not very far-fetched to assume that it's a kind of turmoil around in the world right now. And that is good in a way, because it's an excellent way to see everything in another way, and to see, what do I perceive? Do I actually perceive what is going on, or is something else going on in the world that I might miss because I'm so focused, and many people are in my focus, that there is a lot of things going on that are bad, and maybe that is not the truth, that it might not be the truth. So this is really interesting. And what is going on in my inner world is that turmoil reflected on what I think I see in the world of events, or not. So yeah, we're looking for the truth. That's why we take part of this. So that was my little extension for today. So we are encouraged to, when we do the practice, that both the outer world and the inner world, we are encouraged to try to remain equally involved in both, and to maintain this detachment, it says, as we repeat the idea throughout the day. And this is also interesting, and here comes another extension. The book says, try to remain equally. Oh, I read it wrong. Sorry. It says try to remain equally uninvolved in both. Uninvolved in both. And to maintain this detachment. This is important. Uninvolved and detachment, keywords in this lesson. Yes. Detachment as you repeat the idea throughout the day. This is interesting. It's not that easy always to be uninvolved in what is going on, and detachment. We all have experience of how what a challenge it can be to be detached, don't we? Well, I do. The short exercise periods should be frequent as possible. And specific applications of today's idea should also be made immediately. When any situation arises which tempts you to become disturbed. And isn't this actually a paradox? Because if somebody asked me, Teresa, do you enjoy being disturbed? I would say, no, I don't like to be disturbed. And why should I then be tempted to become disturbed if I don't really like to be disturbed? I think it goes back to victimization, and that is there is some kind of winning or some reward in I'm disturbed again, and drama goes on in my inner world, and all that could have to do with that. We are exploring. So all right, so I will continue. For these applications, say there is another way of looking at this. So things will come up that disturbs us, the whole baggage comes and starts moving. Maybe we think it's moving outside, maybe it is. Maybe we feel it's moving inside, probably it is. And for these, then we can say there is another way of looking at this. That's a good exercise. And now we're in the end of the lesson. And we are told to remember to apply today's idea the instant we are aware of distress. Okay. Easier said than done. So when we are in distress and somebody comes and say, you are distressed now, Teresa, calm down. I will go, I'm not. The old. And one has to be very conscious when we lose distress, and usually that is not the case. We are not in awareness or in the moment when we are distressed, and then so this is a good lesson. So in that moment of losing, we are supposed to exercise, train our minds not to lose it, because there is another way of looking at this. This will be fun. I tried it before, I must admit, but always it is a challenge. It is a challenge. It may be necessary to take a minute or two to sit quietly and repeat the idea to yourself several times. I agree. It will take that. Closing your eyes will probably help in this form of application. All right, so this is definitely a key lesson. Maybe that's why it's so short, because it asks a human being to encourages a human being, us, to go from unawareness to awareness when we are unaware. Interesting paradox, and it's absolutely possible. So I will turn to Tokyo now for reflections on the text and my reflections. Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Thank you. Hello. Good evening. It's this chapter I felt was touched on something very important, which was, I like to call it probably the most difficult thing to overcome. Not necessarily the most difficult, but the most dangerous thing threatening the life of any individual, which is self-pity. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like many books today, and people who hold talks and so on, talk about how to not be lazy and so on. How to not be lazy and how to work hard and how to study hard, and
Success personal development books.
Yeah, and that's great. But I feel as if it is often looked over, what makes people, for lack of a better word, right, lazy, which is, in my mind, it's self-pity, And it's me as well. Obviously, I'm talking about myself as well as anybody else.
I understand,
And so, I felt that it didn't mention the word self-pity or feeling sorry for oneself. The book didn't mention that.
Not in this lesson.
But but I got the feeling that must be what it's talking about.
I think so too. I think it was you and I who had a conversation some time ago when we could conclude that when one feels self-pity and victimized and goes into it, then we are so worthy of rewards. Oh, I can take that chocolate, or I can lie down in this sofa and binge, and I can eat this donut or free. And because, and I'm not saying that one should not enjoy these things. I do from time to another. And I also know when I want to have this glass of wine because I really deserved it, not because I just enjoy it. So, or just procrastinate something. I mean, these are all human, what do you call it? Flaws. Is that the range of what you are thinking about this?
Yeah, definitely. It's exactly what I'm talking about.
It's a bit shallow. I can hear my words are a bit shallow, but I think you know what I mean.
But it did talk. The text did talk about victimization, right? And that's why I thought about self-pity. But it is the same thing. The big question, threatening society, threatening mankind, threatening the life of, not threatening, but facing the life of any one person or a group of people faces, is whether or not to reward people or oneself, depending on the suffering that one has gone through, or according to the what one has created.
that is very. That is complex. What you're saying now.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
So in a psychological way, it's very complex. In a philosophical, existential, and also spiritual, and in every aspect, I would say it's quite complex. And I'm glad that you bring it up because, or that it was brought up here now, because when I go through these lessons and when I read and contemplate the Course in Miracles, and when I listen to people discuss it, or last night I was with friends and most of us are interested and we spoke about it and so. And it became so obvious that it is so wonderful that a text like this, a message like this emerges in a time in the 60s, so it's quite recent anyway, even though it's about 50 years ago. And it is so wonderful that it emerges because it is hard business to be a human being, to come to this world, no navigation map. I don't know if we have karma or not, but we pop up here, pop out, and we are supposed to do something of it. And hardship comes to everyone, even though we think that some people are spared and some people are more than others. But it's a hard lesson, you know, I think. And then a text comes like this: talk of navigation map. This is the best navigation map I can think of, and it's it's the Christ consciousness that talks to us that we can get out of the misery if we see the world in a different way than we are. I don't know. I would not say taught or somebody else did it, but it is the way it is. Hardship, being human. What should I do with my life, the existence, and someday we are going to die, and it all can seem very dark. And here comes a voice to us and a hand reaching out to us and say, walk with me and you will be better than fine. And the world will be better than good. I think that's wonderful. This is what A Course in Miracle is to me.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful.
It is, isn't it? Shall we call it a wonderful day?
Yeah, let's call it a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much for taking part of this. I'm so happy that I actually receive comments, and I have friends in the world, unseen, yet unmet, but we meet here, and I'm not reading this alone this time. It's wonderful. Thank you. See you soon.